The Stone Outside Dan Murphy's Door, Irish Songs in episode 188. I am Rod Murphy, and this is Growing Up Poor in Irish Boston, a series of my 1950s era Irish in Boston songs, poems, history, jokes, and stories. Because this episode involves a Murphy, allow me to wax eloquent about my Murphy family history before we sing. Murphy is the most popular name in Ireland and also in Newfoundland, Canada. There are more than 50,000 Murphys in Ireland, and there are more Murphys in the USA than there is in Ireland. Most of them, I think, near Boston. Pardon this short break. I hope you're enjoying my Growing Up Poor in Irish Boston podcast. If you like this episode, please subscribe. It's free, and it helps me to grow my audience. No animals, children, handicapped, or God-fearing people, widows, and other helpless folks were injured in the making of this podcast. However, child molesters, con men, bureaucrats, politicians, wife beaters, elder abusers, etc., may not be so lucky. And now back to our episode. I will now provide a short history of the Murphy family. From 1100 to 1600, Ireland was ruled by the Normans, but their kings retained Viking and Gaelic names. Mercada was the Irish language name for Murphy. It means sea warrior. The Murphy family began with Cromathan mac Mercada, the king of Leinster province from 1557 through 1552. His son, Domhnall MacMorrough, was king from 1595 through 1632. Domhnall's sons changed their name to Murphy after his death. His sons owned and lived in Blarney Castle, which is located in County Cork near my grandfather Patrick Joseph Murphy's birthplace. In 1641, Oliver Cromwell came to Ireland, and among other terrible things that he did, he confiscated Murphy's lands. The Stone Outside Dan Murphy's Door is an 1880 Irish ballad written by the entertainer and dancer Johnny Dane in the 1880s. It recounts innocent days gone by when local people gathered in front of Dan's shop. Murphy often came out of the shop and picked up his fiddle and played sweet songs. So where exactly is Dan Murphy's stone? Some say it's in Ennis. Others say it's in Sneem, County Kerry. Some say in Fermanagh, in front of an old coaching house which later became the local police station. The answer is no one knows. Over the years, it has been recorded by many well-known artists and to this day remains a firm favorite. The ballad was first recorded in 1931 for the Decca label by William Robert Gordon from Belfast. Other recordings were made by singers including John McGettigan, Richard Haywood, Bridie Gallagher, Ruby Murray, Carmel Quinn, Slim Whitman, Hugo Duncan, and Foster and Allen. I'm going to play a little harmonica to start off with. There's a sweet garden spot in our memory, It's the place we were born and reared. 'Tis long years ago since we left it, but return there we will if we're spared. Our friends and companions of childhood would assemble each night near the store. Round Dan Murphy's shop, how often we sat on the stone that stood outside his door. Those days in our hearts we will cherish, contented although we were poor, and the songs that were sung in the days we were young on the stone outside Dan Murphy's door. When our day's work was over, we'd meet there in the winter or spring just the same. The boys and the girls all together would join in some innocent game. Dan Murphy would bring down his fiddle while his daughters looked after the store. The music would ring and sweet songs we would sing on the stone outside Dan Murphy's door. Those days in our hearts we will cherish, contented although we were poor, and the songs that were sung in the days we were young on the stone outside Dan Murphy's door. Back again will our thoughts often wander to the scenes of our childhood's home, the friends and companions we left there. It was poverty caused us to roam. Since then in this life we have prospered, but now still in our hearts we feel sure. For memories will fly to the days now gone by, and the stone outside Dan Murphy's door. Those days in our hearts we will cherish, contented although we were poor, and the songs that were sung in the days we were young on the stone outside Dan Murphy's door.